to my tears. Oh, oh, that splash against my hollow bones that rocks my soul. Oh, 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 oh. Looking back over my false dreams that I once knew, wondering why my dreams never came true. Is it because I'm black? Uh-huh. Somebody tell me, what can I do? Oh, Lord. Oh, something is holding me back. Uh-huh. Is it because I'm black? Yeah. In this world of no pity, I was raised in the ghettos of the city. Yeah, oh Lord. Mama, she worked so hard to earn every penny. Yeah, yeah. Oh Lord, something is holding me back. Uh-huh. Is it because I'm black? Uh-huh. Like a child stealing his first piece of candy and got caught peeping around life's corner somewhere. I got lost. Oh, something is holding me back. Uh-huh. I wonder, is it because I'm black? Oh, somebody tell me, what can I do? Will I survive or will I die?
If you live in the Vero Beach area,
and you are tired of settling with your career,
Give me a minute while I share the show. Half of y'all came back in.
Yes. Hello. Thanks for joining us, All Hood Could. We'll wait a few seconds to see if people join us. But before they join us, I still got to ask, because this is going to be a constant question for today. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained yet, conscious community? So we're here now. Peace, everyone who joined us. Are you not entertained? So here we are. So at MBK, we try our best to stay out of people's concerns and people's businesses and people's little jousts and arguments, if you will. But I have to ask at this point, because this is a question that I have been holding for a few years now, and I got to ask, are you not entertained yet? And what do I mean by that? We have now reached, maybe not an apex, maybe there's still more to go. We're at a point now where we have stepped up from debating each other to a level where we have gone to insulting each other, to a level where we have gone to insulting older people, our elders, if you will, as well as younger people, where we daily insult and attack not only brothers, but now we have seen to bring attacking Black women into the fold. And we have reached that point now. We're here, y'all. This should be a day of celebration for all who love conscious ratchetness, for all who choose to support that particular movement, for all those who contribute to the 20,000, 40, 50,000 views that people get for, in my opinion, what might be considered somewhat ratchet behavior. So we here now, and it should be a day of celebration for all, especially for all those who may be listening, or all those who call themselves quote unquote conscious. We have arrived. We have arrived to a point now where the leader of the conscious community, the god of the conscious community, the self proclaimed head of the conscious community, if you will, has pulled out a gun live on internet for thousands of people to see. Isn't it what you all wanted? Isn't this what we were all rubbing our palms together, hoping that would come? We here now. This should be a day of celebration in niggerdom ratchetopia. There should be a parade and all the 40 ounces you can drink because we have arrived. Right? This is what the people want. You could care less about Black history. You could care less about Black issues. What we want to tune in is ratchetness with a conscious sprinkle on it. Isn't that what we want? It's like loving hip hop consciousness. We're here now. It's disgusting. In the past couple of days, searching through my YouTube playlists and suggestion lists, if you will, I have had the displeasure of seeing Black men insult and assault people's mothers, people's children, people's wives. This is from the conscious community, FYI. This isn't from the so-called Negro in the street. These are the ones who are supposed to know better and supposed to be leading examples of the right way to behave. We're supposed to be setting a tone for children and future generations and manners of how to conduct themselves. So we have chosen to use a medium where we can reach anyone in the world. There may be someone listening now who is sitting in an igloo in Alaska, as long as they have an internet connection. And what do they tune in to see amongst the conscious? Pure and unadulterated niggerdom. We have arrived, y'all. January, what is this, 30th, should be a day of celebration at the dawn of Black
February
History
1st.
Month. At the dawn of Black History Month. Literally starts in 2 days. We, the conscious ones, you, the conscious ones, have arrived.
It's
Guns,
February 1st already, brother.
yes, guns are out. Guns are blazing and the bullets about to start flying. Are we ready? Are you not entertained? Isn't this the part of the movie you were waiting for? We've had interim scenes of federal agents running to people's houses and federal agents contacting people and people getting on federal watch lists and BIEs and people making threats online and nothing. We don't know what happens to them and all this other stuff that goes on. We have arrived. We had the perfect opportunity to teach and educate our people and use social media to come together as a community. Why are we kidding ourselves? That's not what you want. You want that ratchet out. You want menace to consciousness to come out. And that's where we are, menace to consciousness. Are conscious people a menace to the Black community? That's a question I'll throw out for you to think about. Are the conscious people a menace to the Black community? What do I mean by that? Aren't the conscious ones supporting and promoting all this spooky religious stuff? Aren't the conscious ones the ones bickering about my religion is better than yours? Aren't the conscious ones the ones telling you that you're not doing right? You need to come stand on this corner and yell with us? Aren't the conscious ones telling you that all you need to do is take this magic shea butter and everything will be okay? Aren't the conscious ones the ones telling us how we need to get our stuff together and buy black and all this other stuff? No. The conscious ones are telling you to get the ratchets out because it's about to go down. There is a civil war amongst Negroes who can read a little bit. We are a self-fulfilling prophecy of a Willie Lynch letter, which was fake. So we took a prophecy that was fake and we have actualized it and realized it. We have arrived. Are you not entertained? Don't nobody need to run now. Don't anybody need to hide and act like you weren't involved in it because the views say otherwise. Those views say 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 100,000. So don't act like there's no blood or ratchet drippings on your hands because there are. Right? Don't run now. This is it. Lights, showtime. So at any given time, you could turn on to your local YouTube and some fed is going to come knocking on somebody's door or someone is getting arrested or, God forbid, it's a shootout on 125th Street amongst the niggas selling Black history books. Can you imagine that headline? Are you not entertained? Let's not run now. This is what we have been waiting for, isn't it? We have been waiting. Will Polite get snuffed? Will the Israelites sneak up on and duff out Garfield? Will Hassan and Poppy and Sonetta meet on 25th while Al Green is performing at the Apollo? This is all we want. Happy Black History Month, y'all. Way to go. Way to start off a new year with promise and hope and with a push for cooperation amongst each other. That's not what we wanted. We wanted this. We wanted the ratchet. Who are we kidding? Am I just talking smack? Once again, look at the numbers. Not just the MBK channel. You have a number of channels on YouTube who are trying to push in their lanes some form of Black history, Black empowerment, and all those cool catchphrases that the conscious Negroes like to say. There's plenty of channels that do that. Go look at their views. It's not just the MBK channel. Go look at the views. And then go look at the ratchet consciousness. You see the disparity? So don't kid ourselves about what we want because the numbers say otherwise, don't they? Don't they? There's certain individuals, I don't want to keep mentioning nobody's names or whatever. Certain individuals can hit the live button right now, and you know as well as I do, they can have 2,000 people watching and end up with 800,000 views or whatever. You know I'm not lying. Are you not entertained? This is what we want. Yo, he about to pull the guns out. Somebody's going to get shot, y'all. Go grab the shea butter popcorn. We here. We have arrived, and we have arrived once again at the dawn of Black History Month. At the dawn, we're supposed to look back and see our excellence and how far we've come in progress as a people. At the dawn of that, we have the King of Consciousness backing out the fifth and loading the clips in. Congratulations, conscious community. We're the torchbearers that I'm sure Carter G. Woodson and Malcolm X and Dr. King and Dr. Ben and all those beautiful names that you love to throw around. Have we not made them proud? Imagine Dr. Clark backing out the fifth on the Ben in front of the Schomburg. Dr. Ben, I don't like the fact that you talked about that. You say you a black Jew right now. Let me back the fifth out on you. Better yet, Dr. Clark, let me call your wife and your children every nasty name in the book. Can you imagine Dr. Ben doing that? Only reason I mention him too, that's the first name that come out of conscious nigga them's mouths, right? Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark. Can you imagine these men conducting themselves in such a manner for the world to see? Hmm? Malcolm was standing at the window with the ratchet because people were trying to kill him and he was trying to defend himself and his people. We sit at the door with the ratchet trying to kill our brother over snap sessions online. Are you not entertained? We have arrived. It have taken this many years, but at 2019, we finally made it. We finally dipped our whole foot into pool of ignorant niggerdom, and we like the temperature. So the foot isn't in now. Now half the body's in, and soon we will fully immerse ourselves in it. When will that happen? As soon as somebody gets shot, what's gonna happen is all you're gonna run. That's what's gonna happen. All you're gonna run. Oh, I wasn't a part of that. Don't run, because the numbers say otherwise. The numbers say, once again, 10,000, 20,000, 15,000. In less than 24 hours, the brother pulls out a gun, and there are 20 videos up on him pulling out a gun. Happy Black History Month, my people. We here. To hell with Carter G, to hell with finding out all what all these black folks did to us. When does someone get shot? Isn't that our main question? Hmm? Will that guy go to 125th and see the other guy? Or maybe they'll have a shootout in front of the Adam Clayton Powell building for the Black History Month celebration. That'd be a doozy, wouldn't it? Hmm? Are you not entertained, y'all? At the dawn of Black History Month, it's time for some real critical self-assessment and self-evaluation about what this thing is, because right now it's embarrassment to yourselves. Do you realize anyone with an internet connection could log in and see your foolishness? Do you realize that? Do you realize that rednecks probably use this as a source of entertainment to see what you conscious, quote unquote, Negroes are doing? Why should they have to pull out the ratchet? You're going to kill each other. You're going to talk about each other's wives. You're going to talk about each other's daughters and mothers. That's what conscious people do, right? We can read better than everybody else in the hood, so we think we better. We have an excuse for our ratchet behavior just because we can articulate it better. So, are you not entertained yet? What do we need? Hmm? You hope the shootout what is broadcasted on multiple channels, or maybe Tommy Sotomayor could do the commentary for the shootout. How's that? Huh? Go get your local black conscious rapper to make a theme song for the shootout. Hmm? Maybe the Moors will hand out collector's edition fezzes during a shootout or something to make it, give that whole conscious feel to it. It's no shot to the Moors. I was just trying to be funny. Are you not entertained yet? Y'all could jump in, man. Y'all could jump in. I just want to know that welcome to
What's the bill?
The quote is, "Are you not entertained?" And the build is, "Are you not entertained?" And the question is, "Are you not entertained yet?" We are here. We have reached the point, and we're not at the apex, like I said, but we damn close to the summit, Matthew Henson. And
Yeah.
look what we're looking at. We've
I
reached a point
mean,
now. Go ahead, brother.
I think that's the question that to be asked. Are we serious about
No, we're
what we're
not serious.
doing
I can
and
answer
about what
that.
we saying we want to do and where we want to go?
I can answer
Um,
that in 2019. No, we're not serious. Let's stop
I
kidding
mean,
ourselves.
we,
Ain't
and
no
we
more.
had and then for the most part, we had the audacity to like chastise public figures who was so-called not woke. Dig, and we ain't even. I mean, I don't even know the kind of conversation we're having. Just lets us know. For one, we're not prepared. Two, we're not taking it seriously, and it just lets me know why white folks look at us like they do.
Exactly. But here's the thing now. This is we need some clarity on, and hopefully we can add to start some conversation. Who is this we? Who is this we that we speak of? We have made
The
imaginary
we is that
barriers around
involuntary
something.
association.
Right. We have made imaginary barriers around something and said those encompassed in it are part of something we call a community. And nothing that we do exhibits communal behavior because we don't have the ability to communicate with each other, to work with each other in a cohesive fashion. And by our works, we have nothing to really build except for small pockets of things that may have some growth potential to it. But overall, we we say we're part of a community. And what communal actions do we take? Because communities don't have at its core the ability or the rationale to just destroy each other from within. That's a destructive society. And this is what has been created now. I don't want to hear about your great thoughts on Ida B. Wells and Mary McLeod Bethune or whoever it is, and the next minute you're talking about popping somebody's top off with the ratchet. Those two don't work. Not in my world, not in my reality, but in the reality of niggerdom, which I have named it, this is what it is. Are you not entertained yet? What will it take? Who needs to spill some blood before we go, yeah, this is the movie we all wanted to see? We lied and said we were here for some information and to better ourselves. We lied. It feels good to say that. It's a cover because we hope under those covers lie exactly this, the ratchetness. And we will just wait for somebody to pull the sheets and the covers back. Here it is. Here it is. Don't you run now. Don't you run now. Run to it. Embrace it. Stand right at the shootout when it happened and hold up your what? Somebody sitting back and scribe it on some stone so it can be forever on the walls of Kemet. This is niggerdom. I don't know how you write that in Commission or Metal Netta because there's vowels in it, but I'm sure Sean or DJEHUTI will find a way.
I mean, it definitely needs a name. That's his name. It has been coined niggerdom.
You know? So this is what we want. We don't want to. I'm tired of people saying, "Oh yeah, we want to learn about this or hear about this or hear about the great things we did." BS, BS, BS. Because the numbers say otherwise. And like I said, this is not a reflection on the MBK channel. I've accepted that our numbers are what they are. I'm talking about other people who have channels who are trying to share some information. Same numbers, the same numbers. So who we kidding ourselves?
Yeah.
Hmm? Because it sounds good, because you can impress your friends, that you can mention Dr. Ben and they don't know who they are. That's where we at. Huh? And then if we don't agree with each other, then it's cause for me to literally want to kill you because you call your God Allah and I call mine El Elo or whatever. So you know what? We're gonna take the foreigners' religions and we're gonna fight over each other to the point where I want to kill you. To hell with us all being black or African or whatever. No, we're gonna make a distinction. I'm an African from Omaha, and you an African from Ghana. So no, we can't get along because you know I'm an Aboriginal, and this is what we want. We're trying to find ways to be divisive because it seems like we have a real problem being cooperative. Who are we kidding here? We're looking for
Like
ways
that's
to
the
be
bigger question.
divisive.
Like that's the one the conversation we gotta dig there. Like why do we react to each other the way we do? Like we turn up on we'll phone Voltron to motherfucking knock down a brother or a sister.
Yeah, because here it is. Because you
You
give me
know, but what
because
about
it's
that? What about that European though? Why you don't do that for him?
it's easy to blame the European in these cases, and in many cases where we get into conversations or disputes, it's not a European that involved, and so we've come to get some security and say, "There must be a hidden hand involved in my behavior," and where we can put the responsibility off on someone else and not ourselves. So it's easy to say it's the white man behind the scenes pulling the strings, and this is why we arguing and fighting with each other. And that may be true to a minuscule degree, but the reality is it is our ratchetness that we just cannot exude from our system. It festers in us and it comes out in these ways. And so, even amongst those who can read good, and no, that's not proper English, I did it on purpose, but those who can read good, you will see this type of behavior. Who are we kidding? This is what we want, man. This is what we
We
want.
gave up. That's what you're saying. It
Oh,
sounds like you feel like the
no.
majority has
Okay, so
the
here's the realization I thought.
it never stopped being a community. I think, you know what I'm saying, in
You can't
certain
locate the
sects
community, Sanab. You
you
can't
can't, but
locate it.
certain sects within the community begin to have their attention taken elsewhere, and they
Yeah, but
lost focus. I mean, you got to sit at the lunch counter beside them, and you was happy. You was
yeah, but it
good. The
wasn't so much.
war had
Hmm.
been won. You see what I'm saying? So they lost. You see what I'm saying? They took they foot off their eyes off the ball, and then now look where we at, and we had the audacity to blame our elders. That's how far away we are from reality.
But the thing is, it's just a poor niggerdom excuse because 99% of the people don't even know who these elders are. Okay,
Facts.
you cannot know an elder because you watch two videos on YouTube and all of a sudden you know these people. And I don't blame anybody if they want to do peripheral research. That's their fine. That's fine, and that's what they choose to do. But someone who claims these people and to know of these people, and because you watch two videos on them, you know them. No, it doesn't work like that, and it never will. You've touched the periphery of who these people are, and we're happy with that. And then we can go around and say, oh, okay, those are my teachers because I saw Dr. Clark debate Mayor Lefkowitz, and all of a sudden Dr. Clark is my teacher.
You know, just because you watched all Dr. Clark's lectures on YouTube, that doesn't make him. I mean, I don't even know if you want to get into that.
Haven't pulled up a book, haven't sat down, did some study, haven't discussed with your friends any of his information to say,
No
okay,
type of
well,
bills.
yeah, that's really cool. Hey, is there anything that we could use in 2019 for what he may have said? Okay, we don't want to just stick stuck in the past. We want to see, okay, can we use this information somehow in 2019, whether it be to change the school books or change the community? No, 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 no,
No.
no. When does the fight start? When does Mighty Hebrew walk up to Tazariak and cross the line? That's what we want.
I
We
don't think
want
we
to
want
know
it, man.
when will Mighty
I gotta be a
Hebrew cross the
contrarian.
line.
I gotta be a contrarian right now.
Go ahead, brother. Well,
But what if it's a small,
thank you.
very small part of the so-called YouTube conscious community that
Okay,
like to perpetuate this craziness?
okay. So then I ask
And the
you.
masses are just
Mhm.
like, hey, it's happening. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not gonna change the channel.
Right. It's like
You feel
this
me?
is why NBK named it Train Wreck Television. This is exactly what it is. It's Train Wreck TV. We cannot look away from watching the train wreck. When I was a kid, there was a VHS series called Faces of Death, right? And they had all of these different ways that people were dying, hit by trains, jumping off of roofs, and the whole bit. And everybody in the hood could not wait. Is that they had one that come out every year or something like that. Could not wait for Faces of Death to come out so you can go get the VHS tape. Why? Because it's train wrecks. It's human nature. We can't look away from the train wreck. But now we wanting the trains to collide so we can see the train wreck. This is what we're doing. We're cheering on the trains. Thus the question once again, are you not entertained? Because we want the trains to come down at 200 miles an hour and then bam, right into
So,
each.
I mean, I don't think they're satisfied with their entertainment. They're entertained. We that question, yes, I agree with you earlier. They are being entertained.
So here's the reality. So we then we look at how do I make this statement? Now, like I say, take the MBK channel out there question because it's not about us at all. I have subscriptions to other people who I consider really, really smart and bright individuals, and their presentation styles are dope. The only one that I could see who has pretty good views, and I mentioned it before, is Home Team History. Other than that, for the most part, like if people are aware of other people, please put it in the chat and let me know. But other than that, there are other ones that I'll look at. And you look at the video, the view count, and it may be in the hundreds. Some may have a couple thousand, you know. But then I turn to Ratchetopia and I see numbers that are off the charts. Now, that doesn't speak to just conscious people because it happens in the greater society as well. Train wreck television sells better than nerd stuff. That's just the law of the land. But what it does tell me that there isn't a big enough community. No, no, no. What it does tell me is this, and me and Alan go back and forth about this time all the time, and he's convinced me. And I look at it a different way. There's every particular group. No one is there to save the whole. Those who are Abrahamics believe it's 144,000. The Gods and Earth believes it's only 5%, and so forth and so on. There's every organization. So no one is there for the whole. So if you take the conscious community as a whole, now you say only 5% of those who call themselves conscious or involved in the conscious community will do the right actions and deeds associated with it, which means 95% of the people associated with the conscious or the conscious community will not. So the reality is there's only 5% out of those who are conscious who truly may embody that. Swallow that pill. And that'll explain to you why if you go on one channel, it's 100,000 views, and he's talking about if my mom dies, I'm gonna come and kill all of y'all, or hey, I'm going live because the feds are knocked on my door. Mm? And then the other guy comes and gives you some great history on these great leaders and something that you can empower your children with, and he'll get 13 views. It's not what the people want. We have to be honest.
Okay.
The people
Okay,
don't
we
want
be
it.
honest and we just say the people don't want it. Why not neglect the ones that don't want it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And make sure we continue to provide information to those who do.
No, no,
Because
no, no,
we
no,
say
no.
it all the time.
Let me just be clear on this statement. I don't give a damn if it's one person watching. I have a particular goal and a mission and information that I like to share, and I'm going to do that if only Alan and Seneb and DJEHUTI and my crew watch my video. So I'm not doing it. I would
Yeah.
appreciate if more people watched it, but it doesn't stop the movement. It doesn't stop what we're going to do.
That's
We've
absolutely
been
correct.
in this for 3 years now, almost go 3 years as far as doing videos and stuff that we do, and no tide, no trend has stopped us from doing what we want to do. And because it doesn't matter, the views, of course, I'd be lying to you if I told you that I didn't want 10, 20, 30, 40,000 views. But the views is not what we're in it for. It's for when one or two people out of the 60 people that's watching leave a comment and say, you know what, I shared this video with my kid. You know what? I really appreciate that. Wow, this was really powerful. Those 1, 2, 3, 4 offs make it all worthwhile for me. For me. Because I'm not looking for 1 million people because it's unrealistic. But this needs to be a wake-up call. It's still January. It's still time. We've got another day before we get out of the first month of 2019. And it's the dawn of Black History Month. And this needs to be a critical message and wake-up call. If you want to see the lions fighting the humans and to be entertained and to go to the slaughter, just raise your hand and do such now. The door is open. But if you really want to be about it, really want to be down for the people, if you really want to find a way in, then we need to start supporting right behavior and maybe wean ourselves off of the ratchetness if that's what you want to do. Now, it ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody.
Can you do both? Can you participate in ratchet behavior and still be, down for the cause.
Beautiful question. Beautiful question. I'm
You
gonna
know what
start.
I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna start from home base. Yes, I watch some ratchetness. Yes.
Yes, I
Why
watch
do I
watch
watch it?
everything.
Because it's like a social study for me sometimes to understand that Negroes will truly do this the same way that I could watch Black Ink or Love and Hip Hop. I tune in because it's unbelievable. But see, the difference is with television is there is some solace in knowing that okay, these things are scripted to a certain degree.
Exactly.
So my people are doing this for a check. When you turn into YouTube, these things aren't necessarily scripted. This is real life. Federal agents are coming to people's houses because someone with a screen name that you've never met before has caused federal agents to come to your home.
I don't. I mean, we throw this agent thing around very loosely. Like,
No, 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 no,
uh,
no. These are real agents. No, no,
no, we talking
no.
about
These
real.
ain't
We
the
talking about
agent. No,
real.
he's the
Ask
agent.
Roger Stone what an agent is.
No, no. Yeah, yeah. Well, ask these people who have the
Yeah.
audacity to turn on their camera phones when them agents are knocking on that door, because I don't think they're faking that.
No.
And I'm gonna tell you this: once you're in the fast system, you're not getting out the fast system. Okay? Ain't no okay. We're gonna just let you go. You can go back to your normal life. No, you're already on the watch list. And then we seem to forget that we just had something where your president comes out probably a year ago and does his whole campaign about what black intelligence, black identity extremists. Do you think that someone who promotes black power and the crack of this and crack of that, who goes on and pulls out a gun with a clip on it, would fill the checkbox off for black identity extremists? I repeat, do you think that someone who screams black power and says kill the cracker and whatever, and then goes on live and pulls out a gun and shows his clip is a candidate to be presumed to be a black identity extremist?
Mm.
And now, once you are labeled black identity extremist, and they take a further look and they see your association with people who are already on a watch list for terrorism, with people who are already on national television for getting arrested for making terroristic threats over the internet, with people who are on being featured on segments on Fox News now. Are you not entertained? This is you. This is a representation of the conscious ones. These are the ones who read, supposed to know better and do better. Is this doing better? Hmm? What's up, y'all? Talk to me. This is it. We here now. It should be popcorns. Somebody should be passing out complimentary J's so we can spark up, and we just wait for the bullets to start flying. Maybe there'll be red, black, and green bullets so we can feel more, in the moment when it happens. Huh? Maybe someone to use a blowgun so we can have that, ethnic African feel as another person loses their life. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Hmm? Maybe somebody should stand on a roof and throw one of them heavy ass King James Bibles on somebody's head so we can have like a conscious faces of death type of thing. Hmm? I know the Apollo has a Black History Month celebration every year in February. How about waiting for that day and then y'all just have a gun off in front of the Apollo so we could just wrap this up with a nice bow? Isn't that what we want? And then maybe, maybe the kids will be out of school so we can have the kids watch this type of behavior. Because that's what we're doing it for, right? We're trying to impress the kids and show the kids the right way to act. So when we see those poor lost souls in Chicago, those youngins doing the same thing where they're telling you to put your location on and we're gonna come see you and pull out the ratchet and all this stuff. Takashi 6ix9ine just got himself in some more water. Why? Because somebody's got him on tape talking about he got 30 pack for somebody. And they and they could get him on a federal charge from behind that. What did he do it? He was online and somebody recorded him making these statements. They have other people pulling out guns, say, okay, yeah, this is the gun right there in his hand and getting gun charges from a Facebook video. Are you not entertained? What you gonna scream? You gonna call Al Sharpton when somebody in the conscious community get locked up? Who you gonna call? Who's gonna lead your parade? Polite and Malik Zulu Shabazz gonna lead your campaign to come free the conscious Negro? Where we at? Do you feel comfortable bringing your children in to watch these things? Do you say, hey kids, sit down, let's watch this. This is a conscious people. Hmm? So conscious that you can't even let your children watch your form of consciousness in 2019. Think about that. You so conscious your children can't watch. Now don't watch this, son, daughter. I'm watching conscious YouTube. You don't want to watch this. This is where we at. So who we kidding ourselves here? Yes, too smart for your own good. Right? We here now. Hey, Amadi, peace, brother. Yeah, this is the streets. This is what we want. I mean, you know what? I'm glad brother Amadi is in here because we joked about this all last year, right? And I wasn't mad at, especially brother Amadi, for taking it. Put it this way: all this information is good information, and I like to be entertained. And just as the next guy, I don't want to sit up here and learn about Harriet Tubman 24/7. Sometimes I tune in to get my little dice of Ratchetopia. Like I said, I'm not saying that you need to go home and live this life, but forget about balance. That needs to be imbalance. It needs to be 95-5. But Amadi do it rightly so. Amadi tried to make an effort to get involved with the quote unquote conscious community, and all he gets was headaches and strife and people wanting to fight Amadi and coming to see Amadi and the whole bit. And the brother rightly so, man, the hell, I don't know these niggas. I'm gonna back away and just do some stuff. But he then takes it and he caught was the lightning in the bottle, and he had the Kanika thing when that was going, and that brother's views went through the roof. And we joked about it all the time. And I'm happy for him. He did it, he put the information out there. He found a lane and ran with it. Hmm? But I ask you, my conscious brethren and sistren, on the eve of Black History Month, are you not entertained? Is this your consciousness? Is this what 2019 and Black folks who are supposed to be vanguards of right thought for Black people, is this what it looks like? What difference are we from Caesar and Safari and Dini Leaks and all the other names that I'm glad I don't know off the top of my head? What's the difference? Hmm? Nothing. Oh, we supposed to be better than them because we know what Dr. Ben said? Please. You just ratchet and can read. That's all you are. That's where we at, y'all. Hmm? So what are we looking for now? Perhaps maybe the Temple Moors and the what they call them, the Dirty Moors, will have a fight, and may the best feds win. Is that what we want? So we waiting for Mighty Hebrew to cross the line and get out to Zaria. Hmm? They done dug up Zabak. Maybe he make a prediction and he can get back into the fighting fold again. Ain't that what we want, y'all? Hmm? Maybe Polite will put back on his bulletproof vest that he used to wear to lectures. That wasn't cause for pause. That wasn't cause for pause when you have to wear a bulletproof vest to a conscious lecture. You didn't stop and think then. Like, what the hell is going on? These supposed to be the conscious ones. Why is this brother doing something in a bulletproof vest? Hmm? Or are we waiting for the next gathering where hopefully, not Tommy Sotomayor, but I don't know, someone else gets smacked. Somebody tries to set it on Brother Jabari. Is that what we want? Hmm? Jabari just goes start swinging that Ankh XL that he got like the He-Man sword. Is that what we want to see? Because then we could just be honest with ourselves. We can all put the books away. We could all put the e-books away. We could put the Hotep oils away and just get to the break back out the Vaseline and the Crisco and get back up to the righteousness that we love. Because then everybody can make some money, right? Everybody listening, go start your Ratchet YouTube channel and you'll get 10,000, 20,000 views easily. But then again, I ask you, will you let your children watch? Will you let your children watch? Peruse some of your favorite channels that you consider conscious or of the conscious community or conscious ilk. How many of them will you let your children watch? Hmm? Talk to me. How many you gonna let your kids watch?
For entertainment purposes only.
Right. Sorry, MBK. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. It's not getting a little too crazy. It's been too crazy for a while, and I think there needs to be a serious reality check. It's
Kind
not
of let it
getting
get out of control.
it's not getting too crazy. Getting too crazy was a Negro having to wear a bulletproof vest to a lecture on what was it for Dr. Sabi or whatever. It's been crazy. We just tried to hide it and run from it and act like it's something else. No, it is what it is. It's a sign when you're in a sunken place, to take a quote from Get Out. You're in a sunken place when you sitting in the whip like you, Pac in juice, and somebody done gave you the juice now, and you got to pull out the clip and the ratchet. We're in a sunken place. It's a low place. It's unfortunate because that brother seems to me he's reaching out for help. Something severely lacking when your judgment is off to that degree. Where you're going to back the clip and the ratchet out in front of thousands of people to see. Hmm? While we're on here right now, go to open up a browser and type Sonetta gun and count the number of videos that come up. Go ahead. And somebody tell me. Somebody put some numbers in the back chat. Just go to YouTube and type Sonetta gun. That was less than 24 hours ago that happened. How many videos do we have up? Are you not entertained, man? This is the reality check. Can we please stop kidding ourselves? You could care less about the first black car company. You could care less about who founded Wilberforce University. You could care less about the first black doctor. Please. You want to know who was the first Negro to get capped for talking about Noble Drew Ali. You want to know who got jumped for talking about Albert Bivens was a nut. You want to know that somebody else called somebody's wife the predator and talking about if she come downstairs, he gonna kick her in the butt. That's what you want to hear. Come on, y'all, stop lying. Don't the numbers reflect it once again? Let's go back to the data points, as we call them. The data point says, nobody put in Sonetta gun yet? Show me Show me the number. Somebody put how many videos come up out of the first 10 dealing with that. Hmm? So all you Negroes, stop fronting like you really, really are interested in the things concerning your people or edifying yourselves a bit. Hmm? or what was it? Okay, if the feds came and knocked on Sarnetta's door, y'all. This is what we want. Want a bunch of gossipers. That's what we want. Don't lie. We won't say, okay, that's sad and unfortunate. We're gonna go grab our caramel popcorn and watch. Yo, maybe they'll take his Nefertiti head out of his house and check that. Maybe he stashed the gun in Nefertiti's head. This is what we want. Hmm? The conscious community is a source of entertainment. Sorry. They're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. This is why when you try to take it back to your urban communities, they don't respect you. They don't want to hear your Dr. Ben stuff. They don't want to hear your whole toughness. And you know this to be the case. When you take your information back to the hood, they laugh at you because they think you are full of crap. You just a ratchet people who knows more than Nookie. That's all it is. There's a disconnect between consciousness and the greater community. Maybe that's something that needs to be. There's a huge disconnect. And this is why the conscious community chooses to insulate themselves. And they think for a certain degree that they're better than the greater community. If you can't take none of this and apply in the hood, then what's the point? So you can be the smartest Negro in the room, so you can win at Negro Jeopardy. If you can't take any of this information, whether it's history, health, Monica's economics, or whatever it is, and bring it back to the hood, then what's the point? Is to make you feel good, or you the smartest Negro in the hood now? There's a huge disconnect between the conscious community and the greater community, and it needs to be addressed. If you can't take it to the hood, then what's the point? If you can't find it as a tool to uplift someone, what's the point? If you can't find a means to drop a jewel and keep it stepping, then what's the point? If you can't find a path for your children to walk down so they can have a better start on this road than you did, then what's the point? So you can feel superior to somebody when Kwanzaa comes around and you know all.
Let me go live. Hold on, we going live. All right, now. What's good, family? Black African Power. Y'all already know what it is, man. Hey, what's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woohoo, wait, man. Look, check this out, man. Pseudo killers in the building, man. We're here to get everything straight and get it right. You know what I'm saying? Like my man Wuja like to say, God equals ignorance. Yeah, we gotta shake this atheist thing up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Keep people aboard. You feel me? Keep the working definitions going. And first of all, man, let me introduce my man Vance, politically incorrect. You know what I'm saying? That's his podcast. What's good, Vance? He disappeared. Advance. Don't even worry about it. Double X Architect, what's good, man? How you doing, brother? Always a pleasure to have you here. What's up with you, man?
I'm just chilling, ready for this convo. You know me.
Hey, man, Pseudo Killer on deck, man. Pseudo Killer on deck. Woo Job, what's good, man? I'm a Raw Squad up. Pseudo Killer official. What's good with you, brother?
I'm Raw Squad. Peace to the panel. Peace to everybody listening and those who be checking us out on the rebound on the archive.
Yeah, all right, boom. Shout out to Sister Kava. I know you thought I wasn't gonna be on time. I don't see you in there. You know I was on time. Hey, back to you against Vance, man. Politically incorrect. What's good, Vance?
What's good? Peace to the panel. Peace, Rule Job. Peace, Peace, ex-architect. Glad to be back. Build with you brothers as usual.
You been gone camping.
Yeah. Had to take a family trip and shit. We had to make do something different this time instead of just going to a theme park or something. We went a little different. So it was good though. Everybody made it back safe.
See, hey, how they said, yo, back in the day, no humans wanted to go camping.
Right. You right. Wasn't no damn camping.
Wasn't no camping. They were trying to stay as far away from the animals as possible.
Facts. No, you're right.
Facts. Yeah, so we're in a position to do that, man, based off of humans understanding nature, based off of the whole process. All right, so X, this is what we want to make sure we do. We want to make sure, right, that on this panel, we're not going to always agree all the time. Some things we might, some things we might not. What we want to do is, though, we want to make sure, everybody get their point out and we don't cut each other off. You feel me? So, you know what I mean? Between you, Vance, Wuja, y'all got the right to speak as long as y'all feel like y'all need to speak. All right? So y'all not guests. Y'all are the damn show. I just want to make that clear. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to howl and scream and do all that because the conversations be good. I just think we need to tweak it a little bit better. Take a page out of Wuja book and Brother Vance's book. And me and you, X, got to stop acting up. So, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to cut each other off. Matter of fact, I might put your ass on a timer sometime because you swear you don't talk long, which you do. All right. But yeah, we want to go ahead and get that in. So you got this real interesting thing going on real good, man. So we'll take a couple minutes to go ahead and get you straight. So you seem to think that Catholics and Mormons aren't Christians, right?
No,
Why you actually think that though?
Hold on, we're not getting into that this show.
Yeah, we is. Take us 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes.
It take me more than 2 minutes. You said we was gonna get in a debate on that, and I said, yeah, let's do that.
I don't feel like that, man. Come on.
Nah, don't do that.
I don't feel like debating you on that. I'll beat you up. I can get you right now. So what I'm just saying, let me pierce into your mind. I mean, what's your point? Because maybe, what are you really trying to say? I want to understand you these days. What are you really trying to say with that, though? Just curious. When you actually say that, do you mean it? Literally or what?
I'm not getting into that right now, bro.
Backing out? Backing out?
Get it?
Huh? Devil X Architect?
Never. We gotta get a debate on that right there because I want to present all my information.
You want to present? Okay, give me your basic premise though. Just curious. I'm just because I just need to know.
In the society that we live in, Catholics and Mormons are not considered to be Christians. That's all I was saying.
How about Seventh-day Adventists?
Yeah, I believe that's considered a denomination. I gotta look into that, but from what I can remember, or from what I'm familiar with, those individuals are considered Christians. Like Jehovah's Witnesses are considered Christians.
Yeah, you probably got.
I know with Catholicism and with Mormonism, the rules change. Like I gotta present all that information. Really standing up straight or whatever. I just don't want to be talking about it loosely.
Oh yeah.
I have a question about that real quick.
Go ahead there, brother. Brother Wuja.
Just real quick, so just for my knowledge, who's the authority that determines who's a Christian, who's not? What's that body or what's that group body or regular?
Yeah, now remember at first we were going with the definition. Somebody got the volume up. First we were going with the definition. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
First, we were going with the definition of an individual that subscribes to the Jesus Christ story, him dying on the cross for everybody's sins. We first said that was a Christian, but then I told that becomes confusing because the Nation of Islam subscribed to that, and you wouldn't call them Christians. So we first got to get a working definition. I was just saying that in society at large, we make a distinction between Catholics and Christians, and also Christians and Mormons. You hear me, Will Java?
Yeah, but I didn't hear an answer. So is there a regulatory body that determines who's a Christian, who's not?
Uh, I wouldn't say so. There's a regulatory body, but if we were gonna get in on this conversation right here, we would have to establish what a Christian is.
Yes, I'm saying. So who makes that determination? Just us on this panel? We could make that up. We could make that determination, or is there a body, a regulatory body who that has already made that up?
No, I don't think that there's a regulatory body that makes that up.
Okay, so it's gonna be real hard for anybody to say who's a Christian, who's not, because
Yeah, but that's why I said society at large. I didn't give an official source like besides society at large because we don't have that.
Oh man, you wobbling already.
Never that.
Early
Never
in the
that.
conversation, he wobbled you with a basic question.
He didn't wobble me at all. He asked me who was the authority on it.
So you said nobody. So if that's the case, then shit, the conversation over. They Christians.
No, but that's the thing. You wouldn't call. I told you there's a social context. You said that Christian is somebody who believes in Jesus Christ and that story. And the niggas from the Nation of Islam believe in that. But you wouldn't call them Christians. You agree to that. So then how could you call the Mormons Christians at that point? We have to then take social context into consideration because the definition is far too vague and just not pertinent to what we're talking about.
So let me ask you, can somebody be something without being called something?
And somebody be something.
Like I don't call you a human, but you would consider yourself a human, but I don't go around calling you that.
Yeah.
So a group of people can be something even though they're not called something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that kind of answers the.
I knew you was gonna go there, but let me tell you why not. The Nation of Islam is called a nation, right? By the Nation of Islam members, correct?
Right.
But you and I both disagree that with the statement that they're a nation, correct?
Right. Their nation by their definition of nation, they are, but of course.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying, Wujabu. Anybody can make up. Anybody can say that there's something, but that doesn't necessarily qualify them as being that. When the dictionary definitions are too vague, we have to take into consideration social or societal context. So the dictionary's definition, you could encase the Nation of Islam into that. However, society rules, and we know that the Nation of Islam would not be considered by society to be a nation. It's just an organization that's a part of the American nation.
So let me ask you: does society use dictionaries?
I can't understand the question in the way in which you're asking it to me. Do members of society use dictionaries?
Yeah. So the society, I'm talking about people. So do the people in the society you're speaking about, do they use dictionaries?
Yeah, they use dictionaries.
So the dictionaries are part and parcel of is a product of society, right?
No, the dictionary. Are you asking me if the dictionary is composed by society or does it have an official authority?
No, I'm saying the list of words and their definitions inside of these dictionaries that you mentioned, are they a result of society?
To a degree, but the lexicographers have the last say so on that.
Yeah, I mean, because 50 million people can't write one book. So yeah, I do understand. Lexicographers are professionals who actually put it together. But I'm saying the definitions in them, do the lexicographers make up these definitions themselves, or what do they use to come up with their definitions?
I think that they use societal influence, but they have the last say so on if a word gets added to the lexicon and what the definition allocated to the actual term is.
So do you know how words get added to different dictionaries? Do you know their procedures?
No, the only thing I know is the end result, which is they're either in there or they're not.
Yeah, so I would suggest you look that up, but so you'll know. But I was asking because the dictionary is a result of as a product of society, how the average use of these different words are, and they come up with a definition. So when you say that the society, you said according to the dictionary, Nation of Islam would fit, but then according to society, they wouldn't. But it's society that produce the definition that you find in a dictionary. So that's kind of a little confusing.
No, I think you misunderstanding what I'm saying. There's a dictionary definition, and then there's a societal understanding.
Okay, but the dictionary definition comes from who?
I told you already, the lexicographers, they may be influenced by society, but uh, they're the ones that have the last say so on what words mean. Like if we started using a word, or yeah, like black people, um, the ones we're familiar with in the conscious community say that black means color code, consciousness, all that other shit that they be talking about, right? That's our own little segment of society's understanding of the word black, but that's not the definition of the word black, correct? Mujabu, can you hear me?
Say that one more time.
In the conscious community, you'll largely hear black people tell you, somebody got me on, somebody got that volume up.
Nah, that's why I got to mute myself. I'm echoing, but go ahead.
All right, no doubt. In the conscious community, you'll largely hear them tell you that the definition of black isn't what the dictionary puts forward. They would tell you that it's color code, consciousness, cosmic connection. I can't remember all the other shit they be saying, but that's our own societal understanding of the word black. Our this segment that we belong to of society is conscious community, but it doesn't have any impact on the dictionary itself, right?
Right, but you know what that's called? That's called semantics and pragmatics. How words see dictionaries only give definitions. The meaning of words is born out of context, which means how they're used by people.
Definitions are the meaning of words, aren't they?
No, they're not. Definitions are not meaning.
What
You,
is?
you can you can you can you can use a word that's not its definition. Like for example, if I say those shoes you got on your feet, those are cold. Those are cold. Now, how I'm using that word cold is not how it is defined in the dictionary. So, what I mean by that is dictated by the content or context of what I'm saying and not what you find in the book called a dictionary. So, there's a difference between semantic meaning versus the lexicon and the lexical entry that we call definitions. So, there's a big difference, and maybe a lot of people may not be aware of that, but that's the difference. But you learn that in the study of semantics and pragmatics.
But hold on, Mujab, I just want to hear you. I just want to get clear understanding of what you're telling me. You said that a definition is not what a word means. So if I look up a word, I'm not finding out what it means.
No, you are not. So to be clear, what a word means
Let me write this down real quick.
is born out of context. Oh, so in my example I just gave,
yeah, but you're choosing to use the term in a manner contrary to what its definition may state.
exactly. But I used it to convey a meaning. Did I not?
You did, however, you used it in contradiction to what its actual meaning is. The same way black people in the conscious community use the word black in a manner contrary to what its actual meaning means, because the definition is the meaning of a word. You're the first person I ever heard say that a definition isn't the meaning of a word. That's the first time I ever heard that in my life. I'm writing that down so I can respond to that.
Okay, that's cool, and it's a first for a lot of things. But I'm saying, have you ever studied semantics and pragmatics before?
Yes.
So you've studied before. So you have certain textbooks or books that you've read on it.
No, I've just looked at articles on semantics and read different works on semantics, but I don't have any textbook with me on semantics.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. That's what I meant by study. Like, have you actually studied it? Not just not just know what they mean and stuff.
You got different degrees to study.
No, yeah, I'm telling you what I meant by study. So I understand. I'm clarifying what I meant by study. But
no, I haven't read textbooks on semantics.
Okay, that's cool. So I'm saying if you do, you'll find that dictionaries, and plus also if you look up how words are added to dictionaries and how these companies, Merriam-Webster and all these other companies actually add words to dictionaries, you'll probably find that interesting as well. But I'm saying that the definition is not the meaning, because they can be two different things. And I gave you an example. If like in the Midwest, in Chicago, people will say, "Yo, that shirt you got on is cold. How much you pay for it? I'm trying to get it. Where you get it from?" But people in New York may say, "Yo, that shirt is hot. Where you get it from? I'm trying to get one. How much you pay for it?" So hot and cold are two diametrically opposed words in their normal definition, but yet both people, the person in Chicago and the person in New York, are using both of those opposing words the exact same meaning. All they simply mean is that it looks nice. I like it. It's
Yeah,
attractive.
but you do know, Wujabu, they're not speaking in a formal manner or speaking in a way that's in connection or agreement with the dictionary. They're speaking in a localized uh, understanding, and they're not using those words properly.
Well, 1 second, because that's my point. My point is that what words mean
It's the
is dictated by contents, how they're used, and this is under semantics and pragmatics. That's why I say you should study those two things. And
let me ask you this question, Wujabu. You know just a tad bit of Spanish, right? Like if a person says blanco, you know that blanco means white in English, correct? Or it means white in Spanish, right?
it means blank, which we say white and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean if we were to translate it over into English, it would translate as white, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now can I go into the Spanish language and change if say I learn Spanish, can I go into the Spanish language and change what the word white means? I mean, what the word blanco means. I
Uh,
can I can do it amongst myself and my peers, correct? But I don't have any official authority. Is what I'm trying to communicate to you, correct?
no, but I never said that you did. Even in my example,
Hold on. Yeah, this is
hold on, wait 1 second. In my example, I'm not even talking about dictionaries. What I'm trying to get you to see is that what you find in a dictionary is are definitions of words.
what is the definition?
And if you look up the definition of definition, it simply means to place a limit on something. These are demarcation of concepts. And so they take the average demarcation different concepts, and they have words and they give these definitions. But how people actually use the words dictates its meaning. So you can take a word and mean something else by it. This is just conversational. So that's what I'm saying. If you study semantics and pragmatics, how words are used in practical communication, interfacing and engagement, you'll understand that meaning is different and quite often different than the dictionary. Now,
Okay,
people who don't know this will say, "Oh, well, you're speaking informally or colloquially, and this and that." But that's what's going on.
I will job. Look, I looked up the word definition. Right? You can see my screen.
Yes.
And what does it say? A statement of the exact meaning of a word. So a definition is the exact meaning of a word. You said it was not the meaning of a word.
Okay. Look up code in my example. Look up the word code. In my example of that I gave you a scenario, look up the word code and you tell me what do I mean by it.
But you're using that in a localized understanding. It may not be the dictionary definition. It may not have a definition within the dictionary. That may be like a metaphoric expression.
So again, if I use a word and you look it up in a dictionary and it listed and it gives you a definition of that word and you plug in that definition in the context in which I use it, would it match?
No, it wouldn't because you're not speaking properly.
So it must mean I don't mean it that way.
I understand it, but what I'm telling you is that you don't have authority over the language, Mujabu.
No,
The
I never,
dictionary does.
I never claimed to have authority over the language, X.
But all right, let me state what you stated. You said that definitions are not the meaning of words. We just looked in the dictionary, Mujabu, by Googling it, and Google has within its search bar a pocket-sized Oxford dictionary, and we saw that a definition is the exact meaning of a word. So by default of that, you would be incorrect in what you stated.
Okay, I tell you what. Look up semantics and pragmatics. Do the same thing.
All right, no problem, bro.
All right, because I already asked you if you studied it and you haven't, and so
Not to the effect that
I'm
you were talking.
encouraging. right, and I'm encouraging you to, and now you understand the example I gave, but you're still fighting it because you're saying that the dictionary is the exact meaning of a word.
Yes.
Okay, so
According to the language, it's the exact meaning of the word.
Okay, so
Officially. Let
so
me throw that in.
officially the meaning of the word.
Yes,
So
it's
how?
the official meaning of the word.
Okay, so now let me ask you, how do words get defined in these dictionaries?
You mean who has the authority to give them definition?
What's the process? How are so the lexicographers, so the people who are work at Merriam-Webster, are they, or,
Yes.
or any of them? Let's just use Merriam as an example.
I think the principal one would be Oxford, though. I just want to throw that in there. Go ahead, good
Say
job.
it again. Say it again.
I think the principal historical dictionary of the English language is the Oxford one.
Okay, but the others exist. So let's just use the word Merriam because that's what people access the most. Just for
You
this
sure about
example. Just for this example, yeah. Because when you Google, it's pulling from Merriam-Webster.
No, it's not. It's pulling from Oxford. That's what I try to tell you.
Okay, well, Oxford or Merriam, it doesn't matter. I'm saying.
I got you. I'm just, I was just correcting you. You just said it was pulling from Merriam, and I just told you it's pulling from Oxford. Go ahead.
No, when I pull it up, it's pulling from Merriam though, X.
When you use the Google has embedded within its search bar, you can type this in and check it out, bro. I already did it.
Listen. When I pull up words, they pull up from Merriam.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
Hold up. Are we clear on that?
Are you? Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. When you Google words, you're saying they pull up from
No,
Merriam?
I don't. No, I don't Google words, brother.
So you don't type words inside of the Google search bar?
Not to get dictionary definitions. No, brother.
Okay, no problem. I'm just telling you that that's what Google does. But go ahead, bro.
Okay, and that's fine. But for my example, whether it's Oxford, whether it's Merriam, whether Google does it themselves or not,
Yeah.
the team of people responsible for writing those dictionaries, are they the ones who create these definitions from themselves? Are they the creators of all the definitions of the words that's in their dictionaries?
Are they the creators? I don't. That would be difficult to answer because I would have to ask you for context. What I would tell you is they're the ones that have the last say so on what words mean.
Okay, that wasn't my question. So let's just separate the two, because I understand that if they are the editors and the architects of the actual dictionary themselves, they will by default have a last say so. So we don't have to keep saying that. My question to you is, are they the ones who create these definitions in the dictionaries?
And in their respective dictionaries, they're the official creators or the people who bring these terms into existence officially.
Okay, so they make up the definitions to these words that we find in their dictionaries. So they're the ones.
I didn't say that.
No, I didn't say you said it. I'm saying it for clarification. So I'm saying, so when I say create the definition, that's what I mean. Did they make it up?
Analogous
No,
example that I was going to use in order to question more.
So you got a source on that? Yes or no?
I'm bringing it up right now. Let me get that
Bring
shit.
it up.
I
was down with Will Smith, and then they might have did thought they was Christians with Xenu and them aliens and all that. They might have thought that. They might have very well thought that. I don't know.
I'm surprised the same Google dictionary method wasn't used to define Christian.
Little dirty thing that they don't call the kidnapping trade, because that's what it was. All right, because you got to kidnap a person to put them in slavery. These are the theists, y'all. This is what Brother Unc been trying to say. Man, I'm against the theists, no matter what y'all say. Plain and simple. So God actually does introduce ignorance, because once we really got out in this system, man, we ignorant as hell, man. I promise you, man. Now y'all might think that man X be going back and forth. The truth is, man, he's a highly intelligent brother. Brother Vance, he's a highly intelligent brother. And we're gonna keep doing our thing because they're against the theists. And once we can get our mind right to scientific literacy, right, and combat the theists, which is really the ignorance, because you got people telling you we just popped out the sky, right? You got people spooked out when you ask them a question about biology, because we take it slow around here. We start out with biological human evolution, right? We start there, all right? Why there, Unc? Because if you got a little understanding of biology, right, that's going to help you. That's going to help you understand a lot of things. So when the vaccine argument comes up, you're prepared for it. When the Dr. Sadie conversation comes up, you are prepared for it because you understand the function of biology. But you got to say that, Double X.
Say that one more time, Mom.
Well, goddamn, you wasn't listening.
I was listening. I didn't, that last part, I was looking at the comments. I didn't hear the last part you said. In order to understand something, you have to understand biology.
Yeah, I said. So we studied biology and biological human evolution. Then dealing with biology in human beings, and generally just biology in general. We study that so that we know. So when the conversation of Dr. Sadie comes up and what he was able to do against cancer, we're already on our A game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What do you want to add to that?
Nah, that was perfect. When you study biology, you understand why what he was putting forward was pseudo.
How about being a veganism? How does biology help you in that?
It allows for you to understand why veganism isn't a diet that's natural to humans, because we learn about vitamin B12 and its role in the human body and how humans would not have had the managerial skill in their early days to be able to get the vitamin B12 containing products that they can today, like supplements and things of that nature, in order to provide for a life of veganism. Because vitamin B12, you don't find it in adequate amounts in plants, enough of it to be a vegan. So we know veganism isn't natural, nor is it something that a part of the human evolution.
Hey man, shout out to Chief X, man. You fought hard on the topic, man. Shout out to you. You want to add something to that, brother Sean?
Yo, on the topic of Chief versus Polite, and as far as debate is concerned, I never told you Chief wanted debate. I just told you Polite information was pseudo.
You never said Chief wanted debate?
I never said that. I just want to let that be known. I ain't never say that.
Oh.
Because Chief did put shit up that wasn't valid, and Polite did correct him on that.
All right.
But polite information was incorrect.
Don't make me bring Chief on here. That'll be another hour with y'all niggas.
Yo, it's just a reality. As far as argument is concerned, he lost the argument.
You think he lost that though?
Yeah, he lost the debate. He lost the argument. He was flipping out and all types of shit. Like,
he ain't flipped out, yo.
Yeah, you ain't see the shit. Chief lost his mind. Looked like he was off his meds or some shit.
Oh, you stupid as fuck.
I'm just being honest with you.
Nah, man, Chief, man. Hey, man, I like the way Chief do what he do, man. He never claimed to be no super scientist and nothing like that, man. He do the hard work, yo. And that's why we come behind him like you doing, and we add to it. You feel me though, right? Because he did the hard part, yo. He actually got in a good conversation with Polite, and now we know. You get that though, right?
No, I appreciate Chief for what he did. I told you, Chief that's responsible for getting me off of veganism.
Yeah, that's pretty thorough right there, yo. So he actually did, you know what I'm saying? He actually, I mean, come on, yo. Now we got some tea, right? So I mean, hey, Wuja, where you at?
Yep, I'm right here.
Hey, so yeah, God does equal ignorance, brother. We'll stick to the damn script because it does.
Yeah, God equals ignorance. That may sound strange to people, but you know, we can unpack it and you'll come to that understanding. That's why I always say when the dust settles and the smoke clears, that's what you'll end up with.
Yeah, atheism is fighting against the ignorance of the theists. Let me get into my microphone. We're fighting against the ignorance of the theists, right? I like to speak for myself, no matter what y'all say. I'm against the theists in 2019. I'm gonna take it back to the origin of it. You know what I'm saying? When you was talking about against the state-sponsored religion, I'm against the state-sponsored religion, and I'm against the theists.
See, the thing is belief. everybody's required to be a believer, right? And so
Right.
when you understand what believing is synonymous with accepting, but it has a extra added there. It's accepting things that you don't know. And so there's a contrast between knowledge and belief. And when you don't know, that's what ignorance is. Ignorance means not to know. And so belief is ignorance. And so science is the opposite of that. So this is why, there's always this tug of war fighting and fussing between scientists and, believers or quote unquote religious folks. So that because, God is threatened by knowledge as it is dictated in the biblical story that I was explaining. God was threatened by Adam and Eve gaining knowledge. That's why he didn't want them to do it. And he was pissed off and he cursed them. So that character God in the Genesis 3 and all that stuff um was threatened by those two people gaining knowledge. And and the serpent, this other character that called the serpent, told them the truth. Really, it was like, listen, man, if y'all eat that plate of food over there, y'all gonna know and y'all gonna be like God. And then, but God said, if you eat that plate over there, you're gonna die. So God threatened them with death, which is something that he shouldn't have been able to threaten them with because there was no such thing as death at the time. And you can't threaten somebody with something that don't even exist yet. Like, cause how would it incite fear? But that aside, God threatened him with death, and this serpent, a character, said, "Man, you're not gonna die. You're gonna be like God and know." And then after they actually ate it, here's where the demonstration beats conversation part comes in. What happened? They actually knew and became like God. God got pissed off and kicked them out the garden. So anyway, I'm just saying that story is really is a very telling story about how that entire system is relying on belief. Without belief, it can't exist. And I explained all that before, but yeah, so God equals ignorance at the end of the day.
So they never could. God never could kill him. He never could because he put. Watch this. So if y'all know what we're talking about, read the story. Get your pencil and paper in Genesis chapter 3. Okay. Watch this. He say, now the serpent is more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, ye have God said, ye shall not eat of every tree in the garden. Right? So that's the serpent talking. Because obviously God said that. And then it goes on to say, hold on. But the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. That's Eve talking right there, right? Eve saying that. Serpent come right back and say, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God do knoweth in the day ye eat therefore, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good from evil. So the only way you can know to determine good from evil is through some knowledge and some wisdom, right? Right.
Wait, wait,
So then watch this.
hold up. Hey, Unc, you gotta go back. So because I don't know you're gonna read it, but if you're gonna read it, let's do it right. So go back to where God starts speaking. Like you start at Genesis 3:1. Go back to where God initially tells them.
Where you want me to go at?
Somewhere in chapter 2. I don't have a Bible open, but it's somewhere in chapter 2.
Deep sleep, falling upon Adam and the rich rib, and then Adam said, oh, the woman take a man, therefore he shall leave his place. I don't think, no, it's right here. It's 3:2. It say, and the woman said until the serpent.
No. Genesis 2:15.
All right, let's go. All right, okay.
Start there. Read.
Read. You highlight. You're supposed to say highlight it. All right, right here, 15 to say.
Oh, let me say it properly. Genesis 2:15.
All right. Oh, gotcha. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Lord God and the Lord, O God, commanded man, they commanded, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. But 17, but from the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day, see, in the day, not tomorrow, not 10,000 years later, no, in the day that thou eatest, therefore thou shalt surely die. There you go. Got it. That's
All right.
2:15 to 17. Go ahead. We got that, right?
Yep. So,
All right.
so, but now let's just go back real quick. So, but the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. So that is, uh, uh, in a nutshell, that's discernment. Because when you have to tell one thing from another, that's called discernment. So this tree, whatever it was supposed to give the power of discernment. So I want people to understand that. That's the power of discernment.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, but go ahead.
So then we move on to 3, and the serpent come in, right? Which is the whisper, right? That's Nakash. Am I correct?
Well, let's just, it's a serpent.
All right. The Hebrew name is Nakash, right?
Yeah. Nakash, right.
All right. He goes to say, now the serpent's more subtle any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. So God made the serpent, though. And didn't have enough sense to know he was going to tell him, let me just stop, though. And he said unto the woman, ye have said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Question mark there. You know they added that in there, though. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit.
Well, hold up. He asked her a question. See, he says, has God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? So the serpent is asking the woman a question.
The woman said, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. See? Talking about this dying thing. 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God do know
Hold up. So the serpent, right there, the serpent is he contradicting God or what?
Yeah.
Like directly opposite. He said that God's lying, right? So the serpent is saying God's lying.
Yep. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God do know that in the day ye eat therefore, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So watch this. I like all the way to 22. This is like my favorite part.
So hold up now. Go back to what I said. This tree gave the ability of the power of discernment. So this power of discernment in that verse is being equated to being a god. So when you have the power to discern, you are a god. According to that. Because if you read it again, it says, God knows in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So God, to be a god equals the ability or having the power to discern. All right. So I just want to point that out.
Right. So watch this. If you move down to 3:11, it says, and he said, who said thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree thereof I commanded thee that thou should have not eat? See, now they knowing that they naked, like they are aware of their surroundings now. Like they went from retarded to just eyes wide open. So almost like really this whole God thing is to keep you ignorant of things around you in your world. Do y'all get that?
Yeah, but you skip like finish where you from and then go lead into that. Because you skipped a lot.
I did. I didn't want to read all that.
Nah, that's the whole meat.
Where you want me to go at? Back up to where? 7? I was at 11. What you want me to do?
Now you went down to 7. Go from where I read what you said.
Huh?
You were at 5. You left off at 5.
I left off at 5, yeah. What you want me to do?
All right, so I'm gonna read 5 and you keep going. So God knows in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So I was explaining that that's the power of discernment is equated to being God. So now you go ahead after that.
You want me to go to 6?
Yeah.
Man. And then the woman saw that the tree was good, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit, therefore, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
So hold up. So
creating our image. We think we have a lot of control over our image when we really don't. We think that we are defining how we want the world to represent us, or we want to be represented to the world, I should say, and we're not. And I just want to show y'all some quick things of what I'm talking about. I'm going through my drive to prove it to you in picture form, as opposed to me just running my mouth right now. So hopefully y'all bear with me through this. 9:26, of course, Cherry, you're good. So look, check this out. Let me do this. How do you do this? Share my screen. Screen share. Right. Here we go. So y'all can see my screen now. So do y'all see this picture? I gotta check. So pardon me if I go back and forth. Can you see this picture, Terry? Anyone? Someone? All right, cool. So this picture here, Terry, you need to look this up too. This is one of the earliest pictures, and this is what they thought that liberation and freedom for us would look like, right? So there's a number of artists that began to draw us. All right, draw us like this. Hopefully y'all can see this clearer. This picture's from around the 1780s, right? And this is what they feared that what would happen if they liberated the African who they enslaved. And hopefully y'all can see, I think I can, what they're doing. You see the words right here when my mouse is moving, it says retaliation. And it has the axe. And so they figured that we would, take control. And as you see over here, make them do the labor with the produce. and we would be in the background as you hear celebrating and eating good. And this is a picture from the 1780s. So this is where they start to begin to put it into popular culture, where they want to create, they want to use popular culture as a way to shape the narrative. Yeah, with me? Let me check. See, Terry, as you can see, I'm looking at my screen. Y'all with me? I'm about to show y'all some stuff if whoever with me. I see 10 watching. Bueller. Bueller. All right, there you go, Terry. There's another yes. So you see this picture, right? And so this is the beginning of how they do stuff in popular culture. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because I don't know how hackers be doing stuff. Until I find the other picture. So what they do is they begin to um, say that the African needs to leave the country, and it's that's the free African. And we're talking about when they create Liberia. But what is not being discussed and what is not maybe known is that that is beginning in the foundation of popular culture. And what I mean by that is they begin to do things in popular culture to create stereotypes of you, in a sense, to get you to say that if you may be free, but you will not be equal to us. So they put everything in your path to say, and demonstrate that to you. But popular culture was the means in which they did it because many of the people were illiterate. But imagery was very important because, like they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So if y'all can bear with me, I will find and show y'all how this madness works. And this may be the first time that some people hear it, but this is what the imagery looks like. So we think that we're controlling the image of how we are, how we're represented in the mass culture, even today with hip hop and whatever imagery or presentations that we present, we think is authentic and we just keeping it real and representing our story, not realizing that those are the particular um how do you call it, silos that they may put you in to say that this is what a real Black person is and how they should act. Um like I said, pictures worth 1,000 words. So I'm just trying to find a picture because I got a million pictures on this drive and it is for something in the morning. So, it'll pay off if y'all just bear with me 1 second. No, we can't show them all of that. Can we? All right. Yeah, we might have to. So, all right. So let me go back to sharing my screen. So, so what they do basically is they take imagery and they take the beginnings of popular culture. I know I've said that 10, 15 times at this point, but I want you to think of print culture, and that leads to and print culture as well as theater culture, which then leads to um, cartoons, and then eventually leads to music. Well, music is there the whole time because they begin to sell song sheets. And on those song sheets is where they create imagery. And that imagery is a representation of you. And so people who don't have contact with you begin to rely on imagery and people performing in minstrel shows to understand how the Black person really is. And this is especially important for people who are coming to America as immigrants at this point, whether it's the Irish, the German, the French, or whomever it is. So when they begin to learn about you, they learn about you by going to these various plays and listening to this music and seeing this imagery on everything from, you know, plates to posters to song sheets, which is, you know, the most important way, because that then begins to birth how, you know, the arts begin to form. So you buy this song sheet and then you take it home and you sing this song, and you may begin to blacken your face um, and dance around it with your family or whatever. And that's the birth of these things, right? So in America, this may, or some people say it's around the 1820s, with Jim Crow. And Jim Crow is a man named Thomas Daddy Rice, who performs in blackface after he sees a man in the South doing somewhat of a dance to get some tips to get money to, you know, while different tourists are coming to a hotel. So what he actually does is he buys the man's clothes, or he takes the man's clothes from him, and then he go perform on the stage as Jim Crow. And he sang this song called Jim Crow, and you know, he began to go around and you know, do his thing like that. So now I'll get the pictures up. That's what that whole little interlude was about. So now I can show y'all what the little pictures are for. Just give me 1 second, and then this will all be worthwhile. I mean, just running my jibs at 4 in the morning. All right. So here we go. All right. So this is the beginning right here. Well, of course, it's going to ruin the moment by doing the circle. Okay, here we go. Hopefully, damn. Hopefully, y'all can see this image right here. This is the beginning. And Edward Clay, who draws the figure for Jim Crow, begins to make a series called Life in Philadelphia. If you understand Life in Philadelphia, you understand why we began to show you that this is the foundation for free Black people in America, because it was. And this is in the late 1700s, but this is where they first began to exercise, I guess, some sense of humility and humanity and say that Black folks should be free. But what they did is say you can be free, but you never be equal. So your choice is to go to. This is where Liberia comes in for all those people who listen. And I know a lot of people talking about Liberia, but this is where it comes in. So this is when they do to say, okay, you should go. So they begin to create this as popular culture. And look how they draw the images of you, right? And they draw you like an animal. And here's the key: whoever's listening at whatever it is in the morning or afternoon, is the top of you is drawn like that. And of course, they draw the simian-like features, but the bottom of you is drawn like an animal. And they wore tails, and so they exaggerate the tails, and this will come into play in how you are. And for some reason, they always said we had big feet, especially the women, so that you'll see a lot of imagery with them having big feet. Now, Edward Clay makes this series called Life in Philadelphia because, like I tell you, this is where the free Black population was. And, you know, they're trying to mock them and mimic them and say, you know, you got to get the hell up out of here. So, and then they mock the ways that we go to our festivals and dance. You see? So that's a black ball, right? Right? I think they're doing a waltz at this time. But anyway, they do this and then they draw this imagery of us. This is the 1820s. And they're saying that, you know, once Black people get free, Their main objective is to mock the European way of living, even in enjoying themselves. So now if I see somebody doing this, I know they biting because I ain't never seen nobody do this and they ain't got these images. But so this is what this is right here. And this is the beginning of the 1820s, right? So Life in Philadelphia is the series, and the man is Edward Clay. And these are the beginning images of how they began to mock you and make fun of you. And what it is up here they're talking about the Abolition Society. It's not gonna let me scroll the page down, but up here it's talking about the Abolition Society. Oh, my mouse is moving. See that word abolition? You see, so one of the things we did after to combat them trying to deport us or move us to Liberia, because we knew it was a setup to get rid of just the free people so they could keep the institutional slavery going, we started to get into anti-slavery and abolition movements. And so one of those societies would be the Abolition Society in Philadelphia. And so they're trying to mimic us and mock us, the free ones, for going and participating in these things to get our people free, whether they're still in Philly enslaved or in Mississippi or South Carolina enslaved. All right. Hold on, let me close my browser real quick so I can see who's in the chat. Oh shit, niggas got George Macon up at 4:41 in the morning. All right, so did everybody see those pictures? Somebody say yes, no, maybe so. That's the beginning. That's 1820s. Come on, Terry, I'm relying on you. All right. So, all right, thank you, Tabitha. So that's the beginning. That's 1820s. And this is how it becomes into media, right? So things begin to be pressed up. Song sheets are beginning to be pressed up. And they have this running theme with us where the free Black people love to frolic, have parties, and we always have this spat or fight with another man over a woman. And that's the theme for some weird reason for their music and all the other stuff that they do. I'm about to show y'all exactly what I'm talking about, so I don't just run my mouth. And so this is the beginning. Whoever is listening at 4 in the morning, trust me, I'm gonna go into detail later, but these are Jews that just because y'all up at 4 in the morning, I'm gonna let it out there. So here it goes. So this is the other part of Edward Clay, and who George Macon. He's from Philadelphia, and you can go find these real prints are located in the Library Company. And you can go and see them because I saw them and I have them. So as y'all can see, he also did a series called Life in New York. And this whole series seemed to be about these, men fighting over women. And eventually they get violent. But these are the constant themes that they play up. And then I'm telling y'all, from the beginning, before the minstrel show, all the way up to right now, this is some weird thing that they have with us. So this, after he did Life in Philadelphia becomes successful, he does Life in New York. Yeah, see, this is 1820s. Let me see if I can get it closer. There you go. See? This is going out to, a lot of Europeans are buying this stuff, right? I'll read this if y'all can see my mouse is moving. So this guy is saying, shall I have the honor of glanting you the battery this afternoon, Miss Dinah? Hope you squeeze the bright initiation. I don't know what the hell that means. Oh, you already squeezed, Mr. Sancho. Only I made a privileged garments to Mr. Remus. You see? Hope you not going to breach your garment. What? Oh, excuse me, engagement. Apparently we can't even talk right, and they for some reason can't even spell things right. But engagement to me, I have been standing here for 3 hours. So anyway, this is some weird theme that they have. It's like I'm telling you, this is where it starts, and it gets, they start exaggerating and all this other type of stuff, and so a constant theme becomes this fight between two men over women, and it starts to get physical with razors through the years and guns through the years and the whole bit. And so they create the series, right, as you can see, called Life from New York. And since, like I said, my man George Megan's in the chat, go right down to the library company. I think it's down the block from the Kimmel Center or whatever, and you can go and see these prints. You see, Life from New York. Now they're in front of the court, in front of the judge, and what are they doing? These two men are arguing over this women. But of course, we mimicking them, they think, in style of clothing and dress. 1820s. Life in New York. All right. Let me close my window again and set up and see if people saw that part. Hold on. Y'all saw that part? Huh? Somebody say yes, so I can keep going. I got more pictures. I got more pictures. I just need one person to say yes. Hold on, I can't see the chat right now. All right, yes, there you go. All right, so that's 1820s, and it keeps going, and they had a thing with the minstrel show. We'll get into that another time, not at 4 something in the morning, but I just want to show y'all real quick so it gets even crazier. So 1820s and 1840s or whatever, they do all this stuff, right? And so obviously a large portion of us are enslaved. So what happens when we get free? So we get free, what they say is around 1865, although we've been free long before that in various forms. We just gonna keep it at that. So we begin to have something called a great migration, and we move to the cities. And they have this fear that Black folks are gonna take over the cities, but at the same time, they're saying that Reconstruction didn't work. And what we've basically done is become buffoons to mock them. I mean, not mock them, but try to mimic them in the things that we do. And we always fail at it. They get into certain sports, certain leisure activities, and we try to do those things, and we seem to falter at them. And this goes over into sports as well. And then they create this image that, we're a bunch of gamblers and hustlers. I'm telling you, this is way deeper than people think. And once again, instead of me just running my jibs, let me show you how I'm talking about. So I'll show you the 1820s, and then I'll show you something from the 1890s, and the company is called Currier and Ives. And what they said is we lived in two places. We lived in Darktown and we lived in Blackville. And I know people think, this dude is bugging, but I'm about to show you. These are the two places. So when they say ghetto, before it was ghetto, they would say you lived in Darktown and that you lived in a place called Blackville. And those were your two homes. And so let me just see if I can share my screen once again, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, since you listen to me run my jibs at 4 something in the morning. So here you go. This is an example of tennis. Tennis began to be a big sport. So what they do is, here you go. This is them saying, will we? Lawn tennis at Darktown. You see this? And then hopefully y'all can see how they draw the lips. And then us trying to mimic them play tennis for one. 1890s now. These are popular prints. These prints are everywhere. This is not just, one-offs. Just people have these collections and they hang them on their mantles in their homes. And so children grow up seeing these images, and this is what their picture of you is. Whether we get involved into politics, this picture's real deep. I'm not going to go into it at 4 something in the morning, like I said, but there's a lot to this picture, how we were supposed to be involved in politics, and it goes into Reconstruction, and we took over and were governors in a lot of places under Reconstruction or controlled senates and houses. So now we have these freedoms and we don't know how to handle it. And apparently we don't even know how to debate and argue. So, we wrecked the place. As you can see, you got George Washington around his head, and Abe Lincoln is halfway on the wall. See the lips? It's 1890. What is it? A literary debate in Darktown Club. Darktown. Debate. This is how. Matter of fact, George, I'm gonna give you. I'm sending you this picture. You need. This is what the debates look like. This is the conscious community debates look like. Yeah, this is real, y'all. 1890s. So, they have this whole series that goes on and on and on, and how they make fun. And we think we're controlling the image and we're doing these things, and it's the furthest thing from it. I could show more. So we play sports. This is us, them, how we play Blackville, like I told you, in the football game. So Darktown against Blackville. Look at you. This is how, yeah. Huh? Let me go back to my screen and go private and set it up again. So my question is, did y'all see that? George, I was just in Center City earlier today. So yeah. I just live on JFK. But yeah. Did y'all see those images by any chance? Hopefully I did. One person say yes. Pretty please. Okay, thank you. So my point, thanks y'all. I'm not just bugging. I just want to make sure my stuff is still working. So my point is this. So in 2019, what I'm about to show you is how you don't realize how much we're affected by these things in popular culture. Has created a lot of imagery and a lot of things that we think that we are the creators and the inventors of, and they control.
Yo, 1 2, mic check. DJEHUTI, MAAT on the set, about to catch wreck with this new project. Wirecast for that ass. Alright, fam, I'm out. About to hit this help desk up, see if I get more support with this audio issue I'm having. Much love to everybody that came through. Hope I helped you on your work day to get through a little bit in the morning. Alright, we'll be back. Peace.